Welcome back, leading ladies. Are we ready for our last speaker? I said, are we ready for our last speaker? All right, so this next speaker is the Mother Teresa of Cameroon. She is truly one of the most influential people I have ever met. Just being in her presence, it's like you're in front of royalty. She just radiates wisdom and love everywhere she goes. And I am just privileged to call her my dear friend. Gladis resides in Yaoundé, Cameroon. She is a gender and youth development consultant with over 28 years of experience in crafting and implementing gender and youth development projects. She is passionate about inspiring and motivating the next generation of leaders. Gladis is an inspirational speaker and has delivered talks as keynote speaker on a variety of topics to a wide range of audiences around the world. She is a member of the board of directors for Lead Missions International Cameroon. She brings a lot of passion into everything she does. You'll find that out here shortly. And she is people-focused and Christ-driven. Everyone she meets, she influences. She is the leader's leader. She is the speaker's speaker. Gladis is a blessed mother of 3 beautiful daughters. Please help me welcome, all the way from Yaoundé, Cameroon, joining us virtually, Gladis.
Okay, hello there. I am Gladis Vivan, and I am so happy to be with you today to engage in another wonderful discussion for the Leading Lady Conference 2021. Hello there, leading ladies of the world. How are you doing? This is going to be a wonderful, wonderful time together. We started in 2018 and we are here in 2021, and we are going to be talking about things that involve our lives, things that are going to make us better persons. When we started these conferences, the vision bearers and the mission holders of this wonderful concept, Dr. Madison Gafferson and Claudia Gafferson, led us through some amazing, amazing moments. And today is going to be no exception. In 2018, we talked about leading purposefully, that is leading intentionally, a leadership that is going to hone and harness people in a specific way. In 2019, we moved from being important to being significant. That the things that you do may be important, but are they really significant? Do they have an impact on people's lives? And then in 2020, we realized that to move from importance to significance, we need to leave a legacy. So we talked about building our legacies and leaving an impact, a lasting impact, something that will be etched in the hearts and the minds and the memories of the people who listen to us. So amazing, ladies. We're not going to be talking about things that we don't know already. We're just going to be having some light bulb moments, something that will spark something in your life, something that will remind you of where you've been before. So just relax and let us have this wonderful and beautiful conversation. This year's theme, 2021, is captioned Vision, Value, and Voice. And I can say that this is a very critical point, because for us to be able to give out, to leave an impact, we have to look inside so that we can have focus, a vision that is a sense of direction, so that we can have value in ourselves, in our own lives, so that we can be able to impact other people's lives. And we need to be able to propel it. That is why you need a voice to voice it. Now, you have listened to vision. You have listened to value. I am coming in with the voice. What is your voice? But first of all, before we get to the voice, we need to look at the noises, the things that disturb us in our minds, that disable us from being able to voice the things, our concerns, or the things that we want people to know about us. So what are those things that sit in your head, that trouble you, that make you unable to actually come out there and put yourself out in the world. And so our topic for today is dealing with the noise that drowns your voice. How do we deal with the noise that drowns our voice? There are two operative words here. You have noise and you have voice. What is noise? Is it just clatter? Is it just some sound that's distorted? For the purposes of this presentation or this conversation that we're going to have, noise is considered something annoying, something that distorts your view, something that suffocates you, something that disrupts your being, something that destabilizes you and violates your very being. It takes away your peace and tranquility, and therefore this enables you to be able to come out and say what you want to say in the world. So we're going to be looking at those annoying things, those things that sit in our heads and prevent us from being our amazing selves. To be able to do that, I want us to ask ourselves two questions, or to look at two things. Who you listen to is who you follow. And what you listen to will shape the decisions that you will make in life. So what are the things that drown our voices? First of all, we looked at what noise is. Now let's look at what the voice is. What is your voice? What does it say to you? Your voice, I would like you to know, is your candle to the world. It is that thing that brings light into the world from you, emanating from inside. It is something that you cherish, that you nurture, and that you want the world to see, so you put it out there. Your voice is the ultimate expression of your vision, your sense of direction, and your set of values, the things that you believe in. Without your voice, there is a void. And without your voice, there is no you. So if you want to be yourself, you must have a voice. And if you allow your voice to be silenced, then you will allow your vision and your focus to be silenced. You will allow your purpose and your value to be taken away. So to have your vision, to have your value, you must have a voice. Why are women's voices silenced? It's Maya Angelou who says that we should try to be a rainbow in somebody's cloud. The world is full of so much clamor, so much strife, so much battling on the outside, but on the inside, there are a lot of things that we are dealing with as women. Women carry so many burdens, and these burdens sit in our minds, sit in our heads, and make a lot of noise, and therefore we cannot blossom fully to being the highest, truest versions of ourselves. So why are our voice silenced? What are the things that silence our voices? And how do we deal with those things that silence our voices? I'll tell you a little story. You know, when we were in secondary school, we learned this nursery rhyme that says 10 little froggies went to swim down beside a rushy pool, and on their way to the swimming pool, or to where they were going to meet with other friends, one of them fell into a ditch. Now the other 9 frogs standing and looking inside the ditch were shouting and yelling at this little froggy. So just give up. You cannot get out of that hole. Just give up and die. But the more they shouted, the more this frog kept jumping out. The more they yelled, the more he jumped up. And he jumped up and up and up until he finally got out of the ditch. Now what the other 9 frogs did not know is that the frog that fell in the ditch was deaf. He could not hear their voices shouting at him and telling him to give up and die. And so the clamor of the outside did not disturb him. He depended on the strength that he had in him, and therefore he was able to bring himself out of the ditch. That is a lesson learned. When you listen to the noises that are on the outside, then you drown your voice that is on the inside. There is a saying that says, ships do not sink because of the water that surrounds it. Ships sink because of the water that gets into the ship and then sink that ship. So if you let the water around you drown you, then you are the one letting it. But if you let that water get into your ship, it is definitely going to sink you. So while you listen to the voices on the outside, be discerning to know what they are telling you, and if what they are telling you is something that is going to help you to grow and to be a better person. We have so many voices in our heads. These voices are layered, they are nuanced, and they are complex. They come in different forms and strata. And they are so subtle sometimes you cannot even know that what they are saying to you are negating your very existence and your being. They are so complex that we have to pack them, unpack them, and package them in bite sizes, in small little packages, so that we can be able to deal with them. That is what I'm hoping that we'll do as we go along with this conversation. So while most of the voices that we hear are external, yes, but most of the time, the voices that we hear are the voices that are inside our heads. So as we were saying, women deal with so many negative internal voices. And this may be a result of lifelong criticism. We blame ourselves. We have a guilt trip. We tell ourselves that we cannot do. We have excessive expectations of ourselves, and those are limitations in themselves. Sometimes we just feel that we are nothing. We don't have any value. So I'm glad that, one of my sisters talked to you about adding value to your life. So these are the voices that devalue your being. And where are these noises coming from? I have captioned them, or I've put them in 3 components: from your family, from traditions, and from society. In your family, there are those voices that tell you, you are good for nothing. Oh, you are an idiot. Oh, you will never learn. Oh, you will never grow. Oh, you will never amount to anything. And those voices sit in your head. And you grow up thinking that you can never be somebody. But I always remind my young people and the women of the world that everybody is somebody and nobody is a nobody. And unless you give those things permission to sit in your head and to disrupt your thinking, they will not be there. So it is up to you. You have the answers. It is up to you to decipher what those voices are saying to you. In the family, you might be a battered wife, there's domestic violence, but you come out there and you smile. And you say, oh, maybe I fell. Or I hit my head against the wall. But you are suffering and you're dying inside. And that alone is something that puts you down, that negates your person, that tells you that you amount to nothing. You are somebody's punch bag. We don't want to have that. Are you in a rocky marriage? Are you just living together as singles and making do because society wants you to be married? Are you in that kind of a place? I don't know what you're coming to this conference with, but I can guarantee you, all of us are coming to this conference with a whole lot of baggage that we're carrying in our heads. Now is the time for us to start taking a close look at those things that are sitting in our minds. Has there been a death in the family? When somebody dies in your family, it's your world, total world, your world comes to an end. I remember when I lost my husband. It was, how can the world keep going on? How can the world keep going on? Don't they see my suffering? And you are in a place of emptiness, a place of nothingness. But we're going to try to bring us to a place of somethingness. Is it your children? Are your children giving you a lot of problems? Do you have time with your children? Do you talk to your children? Are you in the process of getting a divorce? Are you a widow? Are your finances down? These are the things that we deal with on a daily basis as women in our families. We carry maybe 5 tons of cement or concrete on our backs every single day, and all of this concrete is sitting in our heads. The second component is society. How does society define you? What does society think about women? What are the different stereotypes that women have to deal with? Are you good enough for this job? Is your boss too bossy? Is your boss never satisfied with what you're doing? Do you have a lot of backlash? Do you have people coming to you and telling you, you can never perform this job well? Do you have people telling you that you are just nothing? Well, my dear sister, mother or daughter, as you're listening to this, you have to start telling yourself that you are something, that you are wonderfully and beautifully created in the image of God to make manifest the glory that He has put in you. And so because you know this, you're standing on a premise of strength. Is it the media? Do you look at the media and you say, oh my goodness, I want to be like Kim Kardashian, for example. I want to be like Beyonce. Well, I always tell myself, I am round and I am plump. I am going to try to lose weight, but while I have this body, I'm going to make the best of it. So don't listen to those things that the media is telling you, to tell you that you're not beautiful enough. Why? Remember, I keep saying, stars shine the brightest when it is darkest. It is in during those dark moments where you think that your back is against the wall, where you are caught between a rock and a hard place, where you're between the devil and the deep blue sea. That is when you have to pull out all the resources that you have inside of you to start quelling those negative voices that are telling you that your physical appearance is not good, or your nose is not right, or your ear is so and so, or you've got to have so and so kind of look. Who are they to tell you who you should look? God created you the way you are, and you are beautiful just the way you are. Is it our traditions? In the African setting, women deal with so many devastating cultural traditions and customs. Female genital mutilation. Why would you go and cut off a part of a woman's body? Because it's a culture. Widowhood rights, when your husband passes, the things that you go through because you are a widow. Are those things really important? Do they have any added value to your person? We talk also about male entitlement, how the boy child feels like because they are a boy, they are better than the girl. We deal with all of these things. Land ownership. Can women own land? So these are the different things that sit in our heads as women, from family, from society, and from our traditions. So, my dear ladies, let us start doing some unpacking. And to be able to unpack, we need to apply filters. It's like you have a Scrabble board and you're playing a game of Scrabble and you pick out letters and you are the one who decides the word that you want to make out of that Scrabble. And so you are the one to tell which voice you want to listen to. Is it a voice that is going to be helpful to you, or is it a voice that is going to put you down? Number one, how do we do this? Face the little demons inside of you. You have got to come to terms with the things that you are facing on a daily basis. I wrote a poem once about the me that I live with, the me that I go to bed with every single day, the me that sometimes I really don't want to see, but the me that I need to come to terms with if I must understand who I am. So that is that you that you're listening to. People will talk to you, yes, but you have to be able to put some filters, to have the discernment. You pray for the discernment to be able to demystify the negative thought patterns. So that is what I talk about when I say dealing with the demons, because they're just little demons sitting on your shoulder telling you that you cannot. You have to silence the voice of doubt. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to be forgiving of ourselves. I think we have too high expectations of what we want to be or what we want to do. But sometimes it is okay not to be okay. And you have to realize that that you are not a mistake because you made a mistake, and that things will get better, and that things could be worse. But for now, what you are doing, you are giving it your best possible shot. And as long as you're satisfied knowing that that is what you're doing, then you will start dismantling that negative voice in your head, the voice of doubt. And for the voice of doubt, you also need to go to the places where you have done something, your little achievements. Maybe you just got up in the morning and you made up your bed. That is something. Maybe you just got up in the morning and you fixed yourself some breakfast. Well, you did something. So give yourself a pat on the back and say, well, I am on the right track. It's not as good as it should be. It's not where I want to be. But somehow, down the road, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Silence the violence that is inside of you. How can silence be violent? Silence can be violent when it preempts you and captures your beingness and stops you from excelling and stops you from being your amazing self. Then silence becomes violent. And so you need to know that sometimes being quiet is not the best solution. To be able to express yourself in any form or in any shape is also validating yourself and your existence. The other thing that you need to do is self-talk, self-affirmations. You can have little post-its on the mirror, on the wall, on the refrigerator. Tell yourself, I am dynamic. I am fabulous. I am just amazing. I'm simply gorgeous. Give yourself those pep talks that validate you, that let you know that you are existing for a reason and for a purpose. Maybe it is not very clear to you right now, but trust me, as with the certainty of the rising and the setting of the sun, you are making an impact in people's lives. And so you need to build your confidence. And that's why I was saying that for you to be able to see your vision, for you to be able to see your value, you have to come to a place where you can make all of these things come to the fore, where you can bring them out for people to see, where you can bring them out to impact people's lives. So without voice, your vision and your value will be dead. Build your confidence. Be who you are, yourself, and no one else. There are no two duplicates. There's only one you. And you can choose, you can make the choice to be an amazing person, or you can make a choice to be down in the down and down and down and dump. The next thing that you need to do to quell those noises in your head is to have some me time. As women, we go about taking care of everybody, but we never stop to refill. We never stop to replenish. We never stop to take some time out for us. So I say you have to have some me time. Time that you are with yourself alone, so that you can process the things that you're going through, so that you can validate yourself. Have some time that you can just sit and sing a song, or say a prayer, or read a book. Just maybe 30 minutes a day. Have some me time that is going to give you energy for the next day. Focus on the things that you have accomplished. Think about your life from when you were a young girl, growing up, until now. Think about all the amazing things that you have done. Think about the people that you have met along the way. I always say, I come as one, but I stand as 1,000, because there are so many people that come along with me. You bring all those people along to that place, and you see that throughout your life, you must have touched somebody at some point in your life. The next thing, please do not worry about being liked. We worry so much about what other people think. What do people say? What do they think of me? That is their business. Really? Are you going to be bothered about what every single person thinks about you? No, don't bother about fitting in. Just bother about being your best, truest self. Just be you. Do you. Just make sure that every time you step out, you are stepping with power in you. Make sure that every time you step into the room, you are creating an impact. Not because of who you are, but because of the person that you carry inside you. Because you know that you have a force that is more powerful than any of the forces outside there. And so don't let those little demons that sit in your head distort the value of yourself. The next thing, connect with like minds. Be with people who think like you. Be with people who like to do the things that you do. Don't be with what I call the down-putters. They're people who just put you down. No matter what you do, they will tell you you've not even started. Or you think that you are such a righteous person. Or you think you're a virtuous woman. Or you think you're a wonderful person. Or you think you sing so well. Well, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I think I do. I think I do. I know I do. So you need to connect with people who think like you, because then you will build yourself and you'll become a better person. I always say you move from bitterness to betterness. And that is why we are connected with all of you all over the world for the Leading Lady conferences, so that we can all move from that bitter place to a better place, from a dark place to a place of light. And lastly, ask God. Your spiritual connection is paramount. We are spiritual beings having a human existence. If you don't have that spiritual connectivity, you amount to nothing. But when you know that you have that backing, that God's grace is sufficient, that His strength is made perfect in your weakness, that when you are weak, He is strong, you go to that place, that ultimately all things do work together for good. And when you go to that place of strength, then you come out a much vibrant, a much better person. So you must actively seek to drown the noise that drowns your voice. Wonderful leading ladies of the world, we have had a beautiful conversation, and I hope that you've had some light bulb moments, maybe a little spark, maybe an aha moment to tell you that, I was thinking about the same thing. Oh, I also went through this thing. But what I want to leave you with is that there are two things that we are dealing with. The voices that sit in our heads are either voices of fear or voices of faith. It is the voice of I cannot do and the voice of I can do. And let me reassure you, Marianne Williamson says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And it is the light in us that we are afraid of. Embrace your light. Put your light out to the world. Embrace it. Because when you shine your light, inadvertently, you give other people the permission to do so. So as you silence your voice, may your voice be the candle unto the world. Thank you.
All right. Did I not tell you that this woman radiates wisdom and love wherever she goes? Yeah, Gladys, are you with us?
I am here. Thank you, Yvonne.
There she is, ladies.
Hello.
You have a standing ovation, just so that you
Oh,
know.
my
I know you
goodness.
cannot see it, but you have a standing ovation. First of all, I'm so bummed that you couldn't be with us here in person. I know that was the plan, but thank God for technology, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
you were so great. I love that you spoke about voice, okay? You have a room full of people and an audience across the globe right now. I want you to share. They're listening to your voice, your Gladys.
Yes.
What wisdom can we share with these ladies today? I want you to share your heart. I want you to share your wisdom. I see several young women here in the audience. My daughter is actually here. And I know you have a heart and a passion for young women. And so I want to ask you, what advice would you have for these young women, for the next generation of leaders?
Thank you very much, Yvonne. I have 3 daughters of my own. And what I would tell them, the first thing is that you are not a mistake because you made a mistake. And that the God we serve is a God of second chances. So when you think that you are nothing, when you are down and out, that is when your God is up and about. So always remember that you are God's craftsmanship, beautifully created, packaged with a specialness that only you alone has, and nobody can ever take that away from you.
Amen.
Because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. Step out there with power, with light, with passion, and ignite your world.
Awesome. I know you touched on this some, but I really feel like this is something that a lot of women struggle with, so I want to kind of dive in a little bit deeper with you on this.
Yes.
What would you tell the woman that struggles with rejection and with insecurities?
I will go to a story, my story. After 8 years after my husband passed, I felt I could take a second chance at love. And so I met this man. And I thought, God, you have given me a second chance. The relationship went sour. It didn't work. And that almost killed me. I mean, literally. I ended up in the hospital with hypertension. And I mean, I was working my way up to a cardiac arrest. I felt guilty. I felt dirty. I felt rejected. I felt like I was ugly. And that is why this man broke up with me. We have all been in that place of rejection.
Yes.
But there is power inside of us that God speaks to us, and that even when you cannot pray, He will whisper your name to someone in prayer. And that is how friends around me gathered around me, lifted me up. That's why I'm saying, go to the people who give you strength.
Right.
Don't be afraid of asking for help. You don't know it all. You cannot do it by yourself. Ask for help. Go to God, but deal with the problem. Deal with that rejection by building yourself up. Self-affirmations. Beauty is not only on the outside. You have a beautiful soul. You have a beautiful heart. And nothing can dim the light that shines from within. And you have that light. My dear sister, whoever is listening to me at this time, know that there is nothing that our God cannot do. He pulled me out. Mercy kept me when I wanted to let go. And so I'm sharing this with you. You can make it.
Give time, give God time, love yourself, forgive yourself,
Yes.
and know that you can always, always come out of that deep, dark place.
So, so good, right? And sometimes as I'm talking to her, I'm just thinking, you know, about myself and my personal story too. And I'm strong. And that's kind of, you know, how I define myself. And we talked about it on stage on the panel. You know, I want to do it by myself because I know how and I can get it done. But the truth is that when we surround ourselves with other women, I mean, just being here at the conference, hearing these other women, learning from them, growing from them, is so empowering. Why do we choose to want to do it on our own? When we're in that place where we need extra help, we need to remember that the people in this room, that the people watching virtually around the world with each other, we need to connect and we need to lift each other up, which is what Gladys was saying, right?
Yes, yes.
So I know there are a lot of hungry women here who came here because they want to grow their leadership. Give them some practical things that they can begin to do to help them develop their own personal leadership.
The first thing, do something for nothing. Do not always look at what can I get out of it. Move away from what I call the deadly trinity, the me, myself, and I, and focus on others. Focus on the joy that you bring to others just by being there. And joy, by my definition, and I read somewhere, is Jesus, others, and you. And when you live by this principle, you realize that when you come out of your own emptiness and feel the pain of another person, that is healing in itself. That is growth. And to be able to lead, you have to want to do more for others, help others to become more, help us to learn more. And in the process of doing that, you're growing your own leadership. So practically, I think those are the things that you can do. Also, be humble and respectful. You know, we're talking about the qualities of leadership. I think that respect for self and respect for others. My mother always tells me, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
Right.
So put out your sweetness out and let your sweetness perfume the world. And then you can lead others.
Love that. Okay, well, we are practically done here. I cannot close without allowing you just the open mic. Is there anything specific that you want to close with, or you want to not leave this conference sharing with this group of amazing leading ladies?
I just want to let all the ladies know that they are phenomenal. And I will go to my mantra that says, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Take your candle, go out to the world, bring light, bring the you that is inside of you. And when you light somebody else's candle, when your own candle goes out, somebody else will reignite your own candle. We are together on this journey. Let us stand for each other. We rise by lifting others. And if you want to go fast, go alone. And as they say, if you want to go far, go along with many people. We are going along on this journey together, and we'll go a long, long, long way. God bless you, and I love you.
Thank you so much, Gladys. All
Thank
right, how are
you.
we feeling, leading ladies? What did we get out of today? I'm telling you, and guess what? We still have a full day tomorrow. There is more yet to come. You do not want to miss out on what we have coming up tomorrow. Our sessions for today have ended. I just want to make a couple of announcements so that everyone watching us online and those participating here will know. Tomorrow, we're going to have our breakout sessions, and we will be needing all of the breakout session speakers, the media team, and any breakout session organizers to be here at noon so we can test everything and everything can run smoothly tomorrow for our virtual participants. And everyone else that's already set up or coming and joining live with us, we will see you at 1 o'clock. All right, leading ladies, see you tomorrow.